Good morning, my sunshines. Peace and blessing to you. I hope all is well with you. Today is Monday, the beginning of the week. So I pray that you have a good week without stress, stress-free, drama-free, full of love. And speaking of love, that is what I would want to speak to you on today. Because I feel as though as a society on a whole, many of us do not know what love is. And it took me a very long time to figure out that God is love. And if you do not know God, how can you know love? And love is not transactional. It's not a situation of you do for me, I do for you. It's not a transactional type of thing. And I think that if you don't have the basic foundations, which I was speaking on yesterday, with giving children the basic foundations, then you don't know what exactly love is, because you see, we've become so ingrained in societal things and becoming of the world that we've lost some of the standards and guidelines that we had that were given to us in biblical times. And for relationship wise, husband, wife, or in that type of sense, a lot of times it is not love, it is lust. Because you don't know, you see the physical. You see the physical first. And the physical is what attracts you. But physical fades with time. How I look today, I won't look that way 20 years from now. None of us will. So physical fades with time. And you also grow with time. You change, your outlook on life changes, and things about you change over time. And we're supposed to change. We're not supposed to stay the same. We're supposed to change. And that's called growth. And sometimes when you grow, and your mate is not on the same course as you find that it was lust. Because if it was love, if the basis of it was God in the beginning, then that couldn't be broken. When you have a basis that's centered on, when you have a relationship that's centered on, basic tenets of God is love, and you find that it's not about what you could give me, what I could give you, then I believe that things operate differently, and you actually know what love is because you know God. But if you don't know God, love is transactional. And I'm just telling people this for a lot of people to evaluate your relationships. If your relationship is transactional, you do for me, I do for you, or I need you because this, then that's not love. That is not love, because love is not transactional. So I just want to read two scriptures that talk about love from the Bible. So the first one is First Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 8. And it says, "Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up. Doeth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in inequity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whenever there be prophecies, thy shall fail. Whether there be tongues, thy shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. And I'm going to read 1 John verse 4 chapter 4 verse 8. And it says, he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. So what is love? God is love. And as I said, love is not transactional. It's not a thing of, well, if you don't do this for me, you don't love me. That's not love. It's not a transaction. And the people that actually know love are the people that do charity. And not charity because it's a tax write-off. Not charity because, they're going to get some type of recognition for doing it. But it's true charity. It's not transactional in the sense of, well, I'll do this for you, but you have to do this for me. That is not love. And we mistake and we might think things are love, but it's not love. If it comes at a price, if it comes at, oh, well, if you don't do the things that I want you to do, then I don't love you. That's not love. Because in spite of how people are, what they do that you may not agree with in their lifestyles or whatnot, or what they don't do for you, you still have to be able to say, I love you. I love you. And we seem to have lost that in modern day society, being of the world. We seem to have lost that. And we need to get back to that. Just because you don't know somebody doesn't mean you can't help them. Because a lot of times we think, well, I don't know them. Why would I want to help them? Why not? Why not? You never know when God is testing you. You never know when a test is being put before you to see what you would do in that situation. And a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of the situations that we come across is God testing us to see how we would act in a situation with someone we don't know that needs our help, that needs some type of some help from us. And I'm not speaking about only financial type of help, because you can help in many ways. You can help by, helping an elderly person across the street. You can help in many ways. But sometimes God places people in your path and situations in your path to see how you will be. How would you react? What would you do in a situation where someone needed your help? Would you walk away? Would you make it a transactional type of thing where, well, I'll help them if, they do this for me, right? So what would we do in a situation when we're being tested and we might not realize that we're being tested? And I just wanted to leave that with you today. What would you do if you were being tested? If somebody needed your help, if somebody, let's say somebody didn't have some food and they asked for some food, would you give them food? Would you buy them food? Or would you ignore it? If someone had nowhere to stay, would you open up your home? Or would you let them be homeless? These are just questions that are just coming up in my mind, But I just want everybody to think about that God is love. And in order to truly, truly know love, you need to know God. Because love is not transactional. And I ask you to evaluate your lives, your relationships. Are they transactional relationships? Because if they are, then that is not love. Love is not transactional. It's, as I said, it's not a you do for me, I do for you type thing. And sometimes people disappoint us. And that's because we set our standards things that we would do, we would expect others to do. So we get disappointed and we don't want to deal with them anymore. Well, that's not love. Because if they disappointed you, then, that means that that was your standard. That was what you put on this person, not what this person is actually, if that's what they are or if that's what they're going to do. That is your standard that you placed upon them. And we forget that even though we are in this world, we should not be of it. We should love one another. We should want to help one another. And not only people that you know. Like, why is it that we feel like we need to only help those that are in the inner circle, your inner circle? That is not, no. That is not the way that things should go. If someone needs help and you see that they need help, try to help them. I'm not saying go out of your way, give them your last $2 and you only got, $2 to your name. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is sometimes a simple conversation is all that somebody needs to change their day. And sometimes we're so busy with our own lives that we don't realize that one simple conversation, with someone that's down in the dumps can turn them around. So stop being so selfish, everybody. Stop being selfish. Like, we got to stop this. And stop thinking the world revolves around us. Because it doesn't. We're here. We're meant to help each other. So let's do it. Let's start doing it more. And on that note, my sunshines, I love you. And it's not transactional. I love you just because God is love and we're supposed to love one another, even if we don't know them, And I think we need to get to that place where we start understanding that. But I love you, and I hope that, as I said, you have a good week. And I ask that you continue to pray for me, that, that this work that I'm doing, that this is God's will, not my will. You pray for my finances, because a sister like me is broke as a joke. But oh, speaking of that, I have a small business. It's called Mind, Body, and Spirit Women's Wellness, and I sell all handmade, all made by me products: goat milk, soap, bath bombs, incense, body butter, and I make it all by hand. All of the products. As far as like my body butter, it is way better than lotion, because lotion sits on your skin. With the body butter, you can rub it in. It will actually absorb into your skin, and it won't just sit on the top, because a lot of times you get moisturizers that just sit on top of your skin, and that defeats the purpose, because within another hour or so you're going to be ashy again. We don't like ash. So if you're interested, go on my website. I'm going to post it up on here, and you can find it in the link in my bio. So every day I'll speak a little bit about my products, but the body butter is very good for moisturizing. You only need a little bit in order to moisturize the big portion of your body, and the benefits are amazing. Shea butter is amazing moisturizer. That is one of the ingredients that's in the body butter, and shea butter moisturizes your skin. You only need a little bit, as I said. And as I said, I make all of my products handmade myself. Packaging, sitting up here whipping up body butter, yeah, that's all me by myself. But peace and blessings to you, my sunshines. I'm at 14 minutes. I did not mean to be this long, but I love you, and I hope that you continue to shine your light. All right, bye.